From paychecks to bragging rights, find out what truly drives a racer to lay it all out on the line. Welcome to the AMSOIL Signature Series.
Powerboat racing takes drivers right to the edge.
Basically, that's what you're trying to do, teeter it right on the edge, where it wants to become an airplane but still wants to remain as a boat.
Driver Terry Rinker has piloted the AMSOIL number 10 powerboat to 6 overall Champ Boat Championships, 15 national championships, including a world record 7 consecutive wins in 2006 and 8 speed records. Though it's more than just that for the Rinkers, it's a family tradition.
It's certainly been, a trickle-down effect from my grandfather and my uncle. They started racing. They started Rinker boats. It's, being on the water's been in the Rinker blood. We love being out in the water.
It's a family bond. We all feed off of each other. We know exactly what one person's thinking, so it makes life easy when we go racing, and I think that's what makes us really successful.
Working with Terry, he's a professional and a hard worker, and that's what I like. We have the same goals. The goal is to win races, but also do it safely and to have fun.
That's just the Rinker crowd. We want to go fast and we want to make the boat dance, as my uncle always says.
I can remember at some local races seeing like Bill Siebold and the Bud Light team come in to run a local race in Florida where I lived, and I'd look at those guys running well over 100 mile an hour, and it was just so impressive. It was like, gosh, I wish I could get a chance to do that, And fortunately the opportunity came in, and here I am today, racing with the best of the best, and being able to race with guys like Bill Siebold when he was nearing his retirement was just like a dream come true. Somebody that I idolized and watched when I was real young, getting into racing, to be able to actually race against him and outperform him and beat him at a few races is just a dream come true. Every win is great. There's not ever a win that I don't think is a great accomplishment by ourselves and our team together. It's hard enough to win 1 or 2 races in this series because the competition is just really high. I can't say more about the 2006 year when we won, actually swept the whole series. Won every race from start to finish, and there's a lot of guys out there that work real hard as I do, to win races. And to win all 6 of them in the 2006 season, where there was a high amount of competition that year, was just unbelievable. And it's something I don't know that anybody will ever succeed in again, unless it's me or my son. Hopefully we can do it again. And at that time, they always said you can't win them all. Well, we did, so we can't say that anymore. If you've ever driven a boat, you're used to sitting back in your seat and putting the throttle down and just enjoying your ride. Well, when you're driving a tunnel boat, you don't have any time to sit back and enjoy the ride. The water's rough. You're trying to take the best line in a split moment that you got to make a decision. Well, do I turn here, or do I wait just a millisecond later and miss that hole that's right there next to the buoy? And it's just a millisecond is the difference of being able to pass a guy or being stuck outside of him. So it's certainly something you got to have good reactions to be able to make quick decisions at just an instant. I guess the biggest thing in a tunnel boat like we race is that the acceleration sensation, 0 to 100 miles an hour in less than 4 or 5 seconds. And the turning ability of the boats. You're going into the turn very, very fast, and you pull 5 to 6 Gs, lateral Gs. It's almost like somebody throwing you against the side of the boat. It just turns so hard. And you know when you make a good turn, when the sweat dripping off the top of your forehead, you can see it flying sideways, and you know that, wow, that was a pretty good turn there. Well, I spent a lot of time when I was young, helping my dad with his boats in the back garage. growing up and learning to work with my hands and working with wood and fiberglass, all that stuff has really helped me out. I can't thank my dad enough for everything that he taught me and when I was young, and to be able to, you know, do the long hours and realize that the harder you work, the better you're going to run, and when you take care of your equipment, you're usually going to finish the race, and you know, to finish first you have to finish, and we've been real good about doing that. I think if you look at any kind of motorsports where there's a family involved and you have sons and fathers racing, those teams are usually fairly successful because the younger drivers can learn off of the experience of the father and the experience to keep them from doing things that can get them in trouble and cost the team a lot of money.
We know, me and my brother know, that we have one of the best drivers out here to teach us, you know, how to do it the right way. You know, it's good to have him there and tell us tips and tell us when we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing. And, you know, we take it to heart because we know he's one of the best.
A lot of pride comes out when I can see my sons go out and have success in what they're doing. My youngest son, Rob, has had a huge amount of success, winning several national championships, been a two-time Hall of Champions inductee, and, you know, just had phenomenal success. And as well as my older son, Ashton, got a little later start than Rob did because he was in the Marines for 8 years. Very proud of his service to the country and thankful he's able to come back and come racing with us, and he's coming a long way too and won some races and actually leading the series in points this year.
To see the yellow boat not too far in front of me is kind of a dream, so to be there, it's pretty exciting, and I can't wait to be side by side with him.
Every day it's a work in progress, and keeping the family name rolling in racing is a big deal for us and very important.
I know it's their main objective to beat Dad, and you know, I don't blame them for that because if he beats Dad, you know, he probably could win the race. And I told him, I said, I don't have a problem with you beating me as long as you're the only guy that beats me, and we're 1 and 2.
I'm finally getting there where I think I've stolen enough of his tricks that I'll be able to catch him.
You know, I think a lot of this, you know, personally, the gratification I get when my father was alive and he was able to watch me and the success I had, you know, that brought me a lot of joy. You know, my uncle John Rinker, who's still alive, I work with him at Rinker Boat Company. He actually got me started in the boat racing, probably in the tunnel boat type racing while I was working at Rinker Boats. He still comes to the races and he's had some health problems, but when he's at the races, he doesn't have health problems. He's just enjoying himself to no end, loves to watch us race, and I think he's proud of the fact that he knows that he helped get me into this sport, and you know, I can't thank him enough for it, and I can't be more thankful that he's still here watching me and my sons compete in the powerboat racing as we are now. And I think my sons will be able to continue in with that legacy, and hopefully for many years to come, we'll have the AMSOIL Rinker race team on top of the podium and just keep winning.